Hi, this is Eron Whitefield. This is my video for week 9 for CIT326. And so we're going to start off with this week, we're going to be talking about how to utilize our Docker container. So the first thing that we need to do is verify that the container is up and running. So to do that, I would simply come to the Docker dashboard. I can show that here's my pensive yellow container. It's green, which shows that it's running, as well as the fact that we have here a stop button rather than a start button. So the container is, in fact, up and running. Wanted to make sure that we had done a complete set of backups for the activity, and here you can see that I did a whole bunch of backups. Just for kicks and giggles, I just did everybody's, even though I was only going to be using 6 of these. But you can see that all of these were made today on the 4th. So next would be to copy all of the database files into the Docker container. And you can see that I did this if I bring up my Docker container. And the way that I got to this is I simply went over here and I clicked on the CLI button, which opened up the command line interface. And so by running the ls command, you can see that I have copied over the 6 databases that we were talking about for this week. This Bowling Carl one is one that was left over from earlier in the week, so 7 total. And then I did log into the to the container. You can tell that that's different from my normal desktop, which is the SQL Server login right here. I logged in using the port 49433, which was the port that I used when I created the container. And you can see that I have, at this point, copied over the backup files, as well as I have run restores on each of the databases. The way that I did that was just coming up here to databases, right-clicking on it, going to restore database, going to device, add, scrolling up to the home directory, selecting the file that I wanted to restore, the database I wanted to restore, clicking on OK, going to the Files tab and making sure that I relocate those to the container, clicking on OK. And then it will say database restored, and it will now show over here. If I were to come over here and do a really quick look at the tables, you can see that I do have the tables that are here and that they do have data inside of them. Okay, so now the last part was to show that I could create a job in this new container. I just created a simple backup by looking at the recipe database backup. If you go ahead and run this, you can see that it runs just fine. It will go ahead and start the job and it will execute the job. Both will come back as success. And you can tell that by coming to the data file for the Microsoft SQL inside this container, and you can see that I have indeed backed this up as recipe example backup. So it's right there. The way that this backup is being done is just a simple backup statement, and the schedule is that it is being done weekly on Sundays. So it's done as a job. And that's it for this week. Thank you, and I will see you guys in week 10.